Hello, everyone. Now, before we get started, we have Alicia in the house behind the scenes producing. We're taking it old school today. We are, first of all, Susan, you didn't miss anything. We literally just started. So welcome, welcome. It's Sadie's birthday today, so shout out Sadie, happy birthday. She's not here with us today, but it is Sadie's birthday, so that's why we have Alicia producing for us today. So like I said, we are kind of doing it old school. So it's just me here in front of the camera, Alicia's back there, and y'all, I hope you are ready to ask your questions, talk about everything sublimation. We'll debrief from yesterday. I mean, I feel like we had such a good day yesterday learning everything there is to know about sublimation. Not everything, but learning everything you need to know to get started with sublimation. So I'm really, really excited. I'm gonna let if we create something today, it'll be like a little organic creation just to go through the process with you guys. You all can ask your questions. Tell me what you want me to create. We will definitely go from there.
I love it. If you guys were here yesterday, leave a comment and in the chat box and let us know that you were here for yesterday's live stream talking all about sublimation, or let us know if you're already in the sublimation course.
Yeah, I
love seeing.
I also love seeing where you guys are from. I definitely love it when you guys interact with us in the chats. It's one of our favorite things, especially on lives like today. As you all know, we normally don't go live on Thursday, but we wanted to add a little added bonus for you so we can talk about everything that we have here on the table, everything that we use, so that you can really build that solid foundation for sublimation. So already we have a really good comment. Where do you get your sweatshirts? We use Amazon. We just like to check our description and make sure that we have something. Now I am gonna say this sweatshirt that we have sublimated on, it's the Hanes Luxe collection. So it does feel a little bit different. It does have a higher polyester count. We'll go overhead so you guys can see this up close. And then I'm looking for the tag currently.
That one feels really good. It doesn't feel like 100% poly.
So this is a 65-35 blend. So it's a little bit more, but y'all, for it to be a sublimation sweatshirt, I think this one is a good one. So here, Hanes Luxe collection. There, if you want to take a little screenshot of that. That is where we got this one on Amazon. And it sublimated beautifully. Like, I think it's just really, really good. But yes, we get a lot of our stuff from Amazon.
Yes, Amazon is the GOAT.
Amazon is the GOAT. Now, if you didn't already know, if you didn't realize, if you weren't here yesterday, we are running a very short sale on our sublimation course, and we've knocked that price back down to $127 only for 2 days, y'all. So today is the last day. You have until today at midnight to grab that. You can get in on our sublimation course for as low as $63.50.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, you guys. That's crazy.
Yeah. Plus you get a swag bag of mystery sublimation surprise and probably some other little things sprinkled in there for you.
Goodies.
Little goodies. So let's go ahead. I see everybody. I was here yesterday, rewatched this morning, working on the sublimation course. Now, Kimberly, let us know what you think. I'm so excited. Yeah. Can you show how to do small Christmas ornaments? Not glass or tile. It's sort of wood top. Okay, so that if I were to show you how to do that, I would have to have that specific blank. We don't have that here with us today, but I will show you how you could do a workaround for that. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Let me just go ahead and talk about this workaround, because I know that we had a lot of people yesterday that were asking, well, how can we sublimate on different materials, different things?
That's always like the #1 question. Like, can I only sublimate on white things? What things can I sublimate on? What can't I sublimate on? And then there are workarounds for things that you may not necessarily be able to sublimate on too.
Absolutely. So the first workaround, if you are getting into the sublimation journey, that I think I probably am the most obsessed with this workaround, is using thermal laminating pouches. So let's go ahead and we'll go overhead and I'm gonna show you what this is. So these are just your standard 3mm thick thermal laminating pouches, nothing special, y'all. You can see here, we open this up. A lot of times I like to tear these apart because really you get 2 for 1 here. Right. So this will add a polymer coating to any surface that you want to sublimate on. So for example, this is just a standard glass cutting board that I added a laminating sheet to, because you can't just sublimate on glass, and even if you could, you definitely couldn't get these bright colors.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
So to be able to sublimate on a different type of surface, you will have to add a laminating sheet. And these, honestly, and what I'll do here in a minute is I will have, I'll text Courtney and have Courtney bring me in like a piece of wood or something, and I'll show you how we can add a laminating sheet to the wood.
Yeah,
I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
I think that'll be real good. So that is going to be my favorite workaround, is adding thermal laminating pouches to whatever you're working with. Now, just in case you guys didn't know, thermal laminating pouches does not take a lot of heat to have them adhere to a surface. You can actually you can use your mini easy press. And that's exactly what I did with this glass cutting board. I feel like you can't see it if I'm standing in front of it, you can't see it.
Overhead, it looks amazing. Honestly, this is one of the more, all sublimation projects are really impressive when done correctly, but this one, being a Dollar Tree project, being a glass trivet, it's just basic and it's so beautiful. I don't know. The payout on sublimation is just so cool, and it looks high quality because it's so permanent.
Yes.
And that's why I love it so much, honestly.
I'm asking Courtney to bring me a wooden blank so we can show you guys exactly how you can do that.
Yeah.
Jan says I haven't had much luck with adhering the laminating sheets to wood. Well, I had told her to go ahead and grab me one, and we're gonna work through this process together. Because I have done it. It is a little tricky, but it is doable. It's going to adhere better to non-porous surfaces. I will say that. Wood is going to be more of a porous surface. So it may take it a little bit more to adhere it down, but we'll work through that process together. Yes, Donna, thank you so much for reminding me. I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can sublimate on white glitter cardstock, specifically from Celebration Warehouse as well. Not all white glitter cardstock is made the same, but you can sublimate on white glitter cardstock. That's one of our favorite unsuspecting materials to sublimate from.
Ashley Falco has the sublimation cardstock at Celebration Warehouse if you guys want to get that.
Yes, she for sure does. There should be links down below. I don't know that every specific thing that we have on this table is going to be linked down below. But if there are things that we can link, we will do that after the live. So definitely go ahead and check back after we're done. And we'll try to we'll try to find a link to this sweatshirt. I know that's probably gonna be a big one. The laminating sheets, I feel like should be there because it should be in our list.
Yeah.
So lots and lots of different things that you can do. So let's go ahead and start with the basics, pretty much, and let's talk about it. So basics wise, to be able to start sublimating, there are 2 things that you absolutely cannot do it without. And that's gonna be a printer, number 1, and a heat source. So we're gonna start talking about printers and heat sources. What we have here on the table, the first one that we have here is going to be, and I'm gonna plug this one up, and I brought both of these in here. Kathy, we will take care of that in just a little bit. I brought both of these in here so that you all could see we have this big Big Daddy over here is a converted printer. This one has been converted. This is the one that at first I gravitated toward the SureColor because it was already sublimation ready. It was easy to print from. I didn't have to do a lot of the work. The colors were always good. So I would gravitate toward this one. This is the Epson SureColor F170. It is going to be, so what happened in the sublimation world is a few years ago, it started gaining traction. So this type of crafting started gaining traction. Epson noticed that a lot of people were taking their EcoTank printers and converting them into sublimation printers because they were cheaper. Now, we know that that can void your warranty. Do we still do it? Absolutely. We absolutely still do it. So I want you to make the decision yourself if you are prepared to void your factory warranty to convert a printer. So, but what I was getting at is they saw that there were people taking their EcoTank printers, they were converting them into sublimation printers. So what did they do in response to that? They created their very own sublimation printer themselves. So that is what the Epson SureColor F170 is it is an Epson sublimation printer. They do have the color profiles already set up for you with the ink that you get. Once again, I'm gonna say, we have had, how long do you think we've had this thing?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. So, oh no. I feel like it's been way longer than that. I feel like it's been 2 years probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one do we get first? The big
This one. I've been working here for 3 years, September 1st.
Oh, is that your 3-year mark? Holy guacamole.
Mm-hmm. Technically, I started working August 1st, but I was still working 2 jobs.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, that's 3
crazy.
years in a week or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
Either way,
we've had it for a while then.
We have
2
had
years,
this
maybe.
for a while. I would think at least 2 years. I've not refilled the ink tank yet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
and
insane to me.
I use the Epson SureColor more than I use anything.
I used the Epson SureColor when I was doing all of the Daughter of the King stuff.
Yeah,
where
you
I
did
was printing hundreds of designs.
Yeah.
Hundreds. And I've done it twice. And we still, now, does it need to be filled up? We're at about 1/3 of the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
So it needs to be filled up finally, but 2 years pressing all of that stuff that we pressed. I mean,
that's pretty impressive if you ask me.
I'm impressed with it.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with it.
Lots of testing on that with that printer.
Yes, so much testing.
Yeah.
So this is the one, and I'll just be real honest, if you're wanting to jump into sublimation, you don't want to do all of the legwork, this printer is going to get you in the door, and I say in the door, it's going to get you started with the least amount of work possible. You're going to be sublimating with the least amount of work possible with this printer. However, you're probably going to pay for it because this printer is going to cost you, I think we paid $400. I don't know that it's still $400. But for a small printer, I feel like that's a pretty substantial amount.
It's $449 right now through the link on LexJet.
On LexJet. LexJet is honestly about the only place that I could find it. That's the place that I could find it the cheapest, and it's stayed the cheapest on the LexJet website.
Yeah.
Not affiliated with LexJet, by the way. That's just where we found
the only
it.
place we could find it.
Yeah, that's just the only place we could find it. So, this printer is going to get you started sublimating the easiest and the fastest. Now, we're going to walk you through with our course. If you decide to jump in the sublimation course right now while it is $127, because 2 days Tanner was like, you know what, let's go ahead and run a quick little sale and bump it $40 down. So this is going to get you the quickest, but if you want to do the leg work, I would personally advise going with the Mac Daddy over here, because after we got the big boy, this is the Epson EcoTank 8550. It is technically a photo printer. but it gives some pretty awesome results. I'm telling you, it gives some really, really good results. This is the one that I went through all of the testing. Now, it does have, I will say, this printer has gray ink. It is honestly the first printer that I ever saw that had gray ink. And another company that does a lot with sublimation is going to be Cosmo Ink, one of our favorites, again. Now, they already had sublimation ink, but they saw that people were trying to convert a larger EcoTank printer, but realized there were no other competitors or no other company that was making the gray ink that could go in the 8550. So they hopped on that bandwagon and they created the range of colors that will go in this, which is what we use in this printer, is Cosmo ink. So we use the Epson ink, so this one would still be under factory warranty. This one is not, because we use a different ink, okay?
Yep.
Yes, Ann said if you're wanting to do big projects, get the wide format printer so you, in the long run, are not wasting your money. That is so true, and honestly, click on that link in the description. I don't think this printer is that much more expensive than the Sublimation printer.
It is on Amazon for $6.99.
Well, I mean,
but it is wide format. It does have gray ink. I mean, the wide format is really a big thing, because if you're someone who wants to make lots of like sweatshirts, like our Vol sweatshirt, which that is a DTF.
This is DT,
but we had to use wide format to print that big.
Yes. So we were able to sublimate on this, but we did have to use the wide format printer. So just know and be aware, when you are purchasing a printer for sublimation, I want you to think of the long run, where you see yourself and what you see yourself creating. Because that's gonna be the biggest thing. If you see yourself creating shirts, I 100% think you need to go. Now, you can do shirts and stuff with this one. Let me make that clear.
Right.
But if you're wanting to sell shirts, I feel like you need to go ahead and invest in a wide format printer. How wide is wide? It can print up to 13 inches wide. 13 by 19 is what this thing can print. And honestly, it might even be able to print larger. You know what? Here is some 13 by 19 paper. Now, do I feel like you need to print anything much larger than this? Personally, no. But in case you did, let's see.
It says 13 by 19
Is the largest.
Borderless photos up to 13 by 19, and it has auto two-sided printing. I don't know when you'd ever need that, but
Yeah, 13 is going to be the widest it can fit.
I mean, that's dang big.
That's big.
Yeah, that's very big.
Big. Donna says, I have no regrets about saving to purchase a wide format printer. Y'all, truly, that if you are, let's say you're in the boat right now where you're like, I so want to get started with sublimation. I want to learn all the things, but I don't have the money right now to purchase a printer. My suggestion, go ahead while we have the sublimation course on sale, grab that now, start like easing into it, maybe watch a video or two to start wrapping your head around what you need to do and what you need, the things that you need, and then start saving your money for a wide format printer. Yeah. That is what a lot of our people do. That way, once they get their printer, they're ready. They're ready to start sublimating. They don't have to go through the headache of waiting, going through another week after they get their printer to actually make a shirt or make something. So that is honestly what I would do. If I wanted to start sublimating, but I know that I don't have the money to purchase the printer now, I would go ahead and start small, get the course. That way you're kind of locked in. You know that you can learn the knowledge, or you learned the knowledge and you have the knowledge. That way, when you do make the investment, you can make your money back a lot faster if you then want to sell your crafts.
Yes.
So, wow, I need wide format for my wide body shirts.
Same.
Same. Same. We have to have wide format printers for our shirts too. That's why we have the Big Daddy. That's why we have Mac Daddy over here. So,
Lauren,
yes.
Kathy is asking a question about the makeup of shirts, and I'm just letting us, we're going to put a pin in it because we're going to talk about the makeup of sweatshirts and why you need a certain poly content here in just a little bit after printers and heat presses and stuff. So hold your question, Kathy, because we're going to talk about it. She's asking about the makeup of the sweatshirt.
okay.
We'll get into it whenever you start going over sweatshirts.
Okay.
Because I think that's a very important thing to talk about.
Yes. So the makeup and the count, the poly count of your shirts is going to be very important. And we will talk about that here in just a few minutes. I really wish I had, because I know that I have seen, put a pin in it, we'll come back. I don't want to confuse everybody. Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it. Put a pin in it. Okay. So we've talked about printers. Now, there are other printers other than just Epson printers out there. We have a Sawgrass. Sawgrass is a really, really good brand of sublimation printer. I'm just going to be real honest. You're going to pay for it. Mm-hmm. You're going to pay for a Sawgrass printer. I don't know how else to say it other than it's going to be a little pricey. But if you want to go ahead and invest in it, you know you're going to get a good printer.
They're like,
period.
They have one for $575 at Heat Transfer Warehouse. Heat Press Nation has bigger like bundles for like $1,500 and like bigger printers. So a little bit more than you would pay for an Epson SureColor.
Right.
But
it's still a smaller.
Some of them, yeah.
So the $549 one was.
This one's $574, and it's a small. Let me see if it's
so at
8.5 by 14.
So which is what this one is.
Right.
So at $574, it just doesn't make sense to me to get a small printer at $574.
Yeah.
When at $699.
It's like, I think the Sawgrass printers in the sublimation community have like a cult following. They're like top tier.
They are. In the sublimation community, it's kind of like you pay for the brand name.
It's like getting Nike versus Champion.
Right.
But like the Epson is so good.
Honestly, we have a Sawgrass printer back there. It's on the shelf.
Yeah,
I've never used it.
We don't use it. We use
I used it. I used it a couple times when we were getting ready for the sublimation course, and it worked fine. But like, I'm not going to tell my people to go out and buy an almost $600 printer when you can do almost the exact same thing for a quarter of the cost. Mm-hmm. That's not us. We're not about that life.
Right.
That's just how it is. I'm not saying, listen, I have only good things to say about Sawgrass. Mm-hmm. It's just, if you are conscious about what you spend, just know that. Mm-hmm. So,
Cassie Makes Art is considering investing in a new eco tank to convert to sublimation, but hasn't decided if it's right for her.
Cassie, honestly, girl, like, if you're gonna convert a printer, hands down, I love it. I converted this one myself. In our sublimation course, I walk you through exactly what you do, exactly how to do all of it. I even give you the color profiles. We used Cosmo ink. It does have, and we have a lot of stuff here on the table, so I don't want to, and I can't.
You want me to grab something?
No, I can set it right here. I was just trying to show them. I did see where somebody had questions about like the ink colors. And I wanted to show them that this has multiple tanks, I guess.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wanted to pull this in so they can see this.
Oopsie.
Oopsie poopsies. My bad.
I did it last week. It's okay.
It's just a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a thing. Okay. At least I said fudge.
Yeah. If you bought the very first sublimation course, you should have been getting updates every single time we update it. It's a one-time purchase.
Yes.
And that's the beauty in it. You don't have to repurchase even when we update it. Mm-hmm. Okay, you tell me when we'll go overhead. And
I don't know that we can go overhead.
Okay.
Because I don't think I can pick this bad boy up. Okay. Let me try. Let me push this down. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Close her in. Nope, you're out of come forward towards me a little bit. There you go.
Okay, can I see that?
Yep.
Okay, only for you guys. Only for you guys would I do this. So you can see there are 6 tanks versus your normally you normally have 4. So you normally have cyan, yellow, magenta, and black. But with this printer, you have one that is a PB, which means photo black. It's honestly like a little bit darker than black.
Like jet black versus, I don't
black
know.
hole black versus limousine leather black. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like a soft black and a hard black.
Soft black, hard black. So you've got photo black and just regular black. And then over here, you have gray.
Yeah.
This one is the Epson ET8550. Epson ET8550 is this one. So that's why, because it's technically a professional photo printer.
Yeah.
Or one of the starting lineup of professional photo printers, like at-home photo printers. So that's why it has this gray ink. And that's why I bought from Cosmos, because they had Sublimation gray ink. And it does give you a really good depth of color.
So do you think that one gives more depth of color than the Epson Sure Color?
I think that this gives you very deep, saturated colors. And correct me if you think I'm wrong.
Okay.
I think that this one gives you very deep, saturated colors because it is a sublimation printer. It is set up that way. I feel like this one gives you more of a range of colors.
I agree with that.
I feel like you have more, like you can tell the difference between a light pink, a medium pink, or whatever, a light blue, a medium blue, and a dark blue better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like your shades and your shadowing. However, because of that though, it took me so long to get the color profiles right on this.
Right.
But if you go ahead and if you get the sublimation course, like I said, I walk you through all those. I walk you through how to install your print drivers, your advanced print drivers, because that in and of itself was a headache. I'll just be real honest. Yeah. So Angel says, well, I might be returning the 170 and purchasing this one. If you've not opened it,
and you've got the money?
and you have the money, honey, I'd do it.
Yeah.
I would for sure do it. That's just my thoughts. If I had to start from scratch with sublimation, this one would be the one that I would go with, I think. But that's just also because I've gone through and used all of the other ones. I know that this one is going to give me the options to print wide format. That's just my thoughts.
You just got to consider like what you're making and how often, because I think a lot of times we think bigger is better, and a lot of times in some cases it is, but like realistically, like even the Cricut Venture is a perfect example.
Oh my gosh, I love that you're bringing this up.
Because it's so big and everybody's like, oh, I could totally use that. And like we've used it, like, I mean, other than for projects for you guys, like we always use our Maker.
Yes.
Like we're not going to get our Venture out. But if making large sweatshirts like that you want to sublimate on is your thing, then yeah, maybe the wide format printer is good for you. But if you're just doing mugs all the time, you don't need a big wide format printer. So you just need to kind of weigh out what you want to make mainly and sell if you're selling.
I'm glad. Did you just read Cassie's comment?
Nope.
I've been going back and forth on using print on demand or making shirts myself. I feel like I'll be able to make more of a profit with sublimation after upfront costs.
Interesting.
Interesting you say that, Cassie.
It is interesting you say
I
that.
love that you asked that question or you made that comment.
Yeah, me too.
Stick around. Stick around.
Stick around.
Stick around. I'm getting my Cosmo ink from their website.
Yes.
If you just go to Cosmo.com, I think, or we'll find it. But I just bought it straight from them. And actually, they were running a promotion when I bought the ink. It's like I purchase ink. If I purchase ink from them, they sent me
Heat Press Nation.
sublimation paper.
Oh yeah,
I got this for free
I remember
when I ordered my ink.
Let's see here.
So yeah. Let's see, do we have... Oh, do you all know anything about the Brother SP1 sublimation printer? No, I've not. We don't have any Brother printers in our office. I'm sure, I mean, honestly, the Brother brand in and of itself is a pretty reliable brand. I feel like they've been around, you know what I mean?
They're established.
They're established, they've been around,
they're crafty.
I mean, I'm sure it's a great printer. My thing though, and this is just my thoughts, please don't take this to heart, this is just my personal opinion. Brother, correct me if I'm wrong, started out as like sewing machines, right?
Yeah.
But then they had the scan and cut.
Yes.
And then I just feel like they're trying to do too many things.
Like, well, they're just so known for their sewing machines.
I know, like their sewing machines are top notch. I mean, in my opinion, it would be, if I had to get a sewing machine, it'd either be a Brother or Singer.
What I think they're trying to do is, unfortunately,
I think it's coming back.
I wish it would.
I think it's coming back.
I love sewing. Sewing's one of my favorite crafts.
I've been on the lookout for a sewing course for myself.
Yeah.
No lies to tell.
You guys know I learned sewing on a DVD that came with that came with my sewing machine.
Yeah. Okay. Off of that, back to, I love my Brother. It cleans itself. So, fun fact, this one will also run regularly scheduled print head cleanings. Like it'll turn it, if you turn it off, you can hear it running through the cleaning. So I will say that about that. I like that too.
I added the Cosmos ink link to the description for you guys.
Beautiful. Okay. So now that we've talked about printers, let's talk about heat sources. Now, we do have our Mac Daddy clamshell heat press here, okay? Clamshell heat press. I said yesterday in our training that you can sublimate. What activates the sublimation ink is going to be your heat and pressure. Two things, heat and pressure. If you don't have the pressure, you're gonna get the ghosting. So the way that I want you guys to think about this is, let's use this as an example. I think we'll maybe use this one. No, we'll use this one. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. No, okay, right here. This is what I wanna do. Here is your blank. You have to have your print up next to your blank like this, right? So what happens in the process of sublimation, and I don't know any other way to explain this, is the ink from your print, we'll go back to one. It is a special dye sublimation ink. So what happens is when you add heat and pressure, the ink that you print goes from a solid to a liquid, not even a solid, it goes from a liquid to a gas. So if you know the kind of like the back end of how gas particles work, we learned this in science class. Solid particles are all like linked arms together. They're not moving anywhere. Liquid also kind of links arms together, but they can move together. You know what I mean? A solid, they link arms and they're stationary. A liquid links arms and they're like, woo, we're just gonna move and flow together. When it goes from a liquid, we're linking arms, it turns into a gas. Gas particles are crazy. Gas particles bump everywhere. They go every which way. So, go back overhead. Gas particles, think of everybody going every which way. If you do not have it right up next to your blank, remember the gas particles are having a dance party. They're moving around. So if you don't have it up next to your blank, those gas particles may end up somewhere you don't want them. So if we have space in between, now this is a lot of space, but let's say we have space in between our blank and our design, and we don't have that pressure, our gas particles are gonna dance their way away from your blank, okay? So you have to keep it right up next to each other. That way your gas particles know where to go, and they go straight from your paper, straight to your blank, exactly where they touch.
Yep.
Shout out Bill Nye. Bill Nye also helped teach science to me. Yes. So.
Yeah, same.
Bill Nye the science guy.
Bill.
So that's the kind of that is the process behind sublimation and why pressure is so important. That's why when I said, and I'm gonna bring this bad boy up here. That's why I said you can use this thing. Is it my favorite to use? Not necessarily.
It's just not as consistent.
It's not as consistent, but you can do it. It is 100% doable. And if you all want me to, I can use this to press something. Okay? Oh, Cassandra, I love that question. Those are the types of questions that I'm obsessed with. Cassandra asked, can using too much pressure make the colors too dark? So using too much pressure is not going to make your colors too dark because there's only so much ink that your printer deposited on the paper. Let me say that again because I think that's going to really help you understand. Your printer only deposits X amount of ink on your paper. So the amount of pressure isn't going to make your colors darker, but the amount of pressure can cause creasing on your press, and it can also cause your blank to possibly burn. Because with the heat and the pressure, if you keep that heat, because it's at a very high heat, if it's just two sandwiched together, it can cause you to maybe get like a little bit of a yellowing effect because it burns just a tad. So it has to be, what I like to say is, if you're using a heat press, you want to be able to close it and give about 50% of your strength to close it. Is a good, because like, you know, it's not easy. If it was easy, let me show you what an easy press would like, what this is gonna look like.
It doesn't close all.
There's no, I mean, there's gonna be tension here because this spring mechanism has tension in and of itself, but once it gets past this spring, watch, it's like it closes itself. Like and then one finger.
Oh my.
Holy
That thing is so heavy, I'm surprised it did that.
Okay, so that is too light of a pressure. Now, let's make this pressure real hard. Watch this. Well, hold on. You ready? That's too much pressure. I can't close that. That's insane. I'm a crazy girl. I'm a crazy girl sometimes. So, we want it to be like that's probably too much. See, that's still too much.
If you're like having to go with both hands and like put your body weight into it, it's probably too much. And you really have to learn your press too. You'll learn what works better and what doesn't.
Have I done something to this press? Playing around with it?
Will it not close down now?
We'll have to play around with that.
We'll piddle with it.
I'm
sure it's fine. I'm sure
it is fine. It's perfectly fine. It's just me being me and messing with things, you know, how that works. So, in Hoosier, we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled content, and that is you can use this Cricut Auto Press as a heat source. We have used it before with lots of with blankets specifically. I know the first Christmas that I worked here, we made a blanket that had lots of different pictures on it, and this one is so much better. Y'all, I'm not gonna worry about this. It's just got a screw loose right here. I can already tell you it's got a bolt loose there, and I think that's the issue. I think I just loosened a bolt on accident. Anyway.
Yeah, you have to really get used to the pressures on different presses, like clamshells, swinging weights, they're all gonna be different. Now, if you're working with, what about an auto press? Should we like talk about an auto press?
Yes. So if you're working with an auto press, our suggestion is purchasing some of these pressing pillows from Amazon, because what these pressing pillows are going to do is they're going to give you extra height. Now, there's not a lot. We'll go overhead. Obviously, these aren't super thick, and you want them to be not super thick because you can add multiple pressing pillows if you need more pressure. So if you feel like your auto press is not giving you the pressure that you need, definitely purchase a couple of these pressing pillows. The one that we got, it came with all of these different sizes. I think there's one more size right here. This is everything that it came with. You can get them in different sizes. You can order multiple of the same size, whatever. So,
I don't think those are linked,
okay,
but I will get them linked for you guys.
Adam, if you did not use the code Sublimate, it's going to be $167. I'm so sorry. Email customer service hi@makersgonnalearn.com. We will get you taken care of and give you a refund if it wasn't $127. So definitely.
You gotta get your deal.
You gotta get the deal. Gotta get the deal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm fixing my mic, y'all, because it was like turning in, and I want to make sure that you all can hear me perfectly fine.
I'm adding the pressing pillows to the description, so if you all want to purchase them, they will be right down there with the supply list.
Yes. So let's go ahead. What is the next thing? So those are a heat press. Use the code. Email customer service. Make sure they will help you out. Honestly, I'm biased. They're our customer service team, but I think they're the best.
Yep.
I think they're so fast at getting back to you. So just email customer service, and we promise we'll take care of you, okay?
Yes. I feel like we should talk about the makeup of the blanks, like the sweatshirts,
yes,
the content of your shirts. What can you press? What can't you press?
Okay, so let's talk about the content of everything, or the content of shirts that you can press. So going back to what I was going to say earlier is the fact that I have seen shirts that have been pressed on less than 50 to 60% polyester count. Now, all it does is it looks like a vintage faded shirt. If it is 100% cotton though, it's going to completely wash out. However, if you have like 40 or 30% poly count, you can get by with it, but the colors are super, super muted, and it looks like it's 10 years old and has been washed about 60 times.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Now, if
faded.
that's the look you're going for, is a very vintage, very faded look, have at it. Because it still has some polyester count. It's just those, so your blacks are going to come out looking more gray.
Yeah.
That's going to be the difference. So you do need a higher poly count, and it needs to be at least, in my opinion, 50% or higher. Because what happens, remember I was talking about the gas particles having a dance party. That's what happens, it turns to a gas. So it has to, those gas particles attach to, or if they're having a dance party by themselves, let's say they have to find their partner, and their partner has to be a polymer. So they go find their partner and they hold on tight. So that's why you have to have that polymer coating, because the gas particles will not adhere to natural fibers.
Yes.
It has to be a polymer fiber. So you can make a one-time use shirt on 100% cotton. Once again, and the reason that I'm I have sublimated on a cotton tea towel before, but let me tell you why I did that. So before, I didn't want to do, I don't know if you don't know this about me, I love to embroider, taught myself embroidery years ago, taught you guys a little bit embroidery basics in Maker U, BT Dubs. Which, funny story, is how Sadie learned to embroider, by producing my videos. And so what I did is I did sublimate on 100% cotton as a guide for handwriting, because I was doing it as a Christmas gift. So I took somebody who had passed away, I took their handwriting, I turned it into a sublimation file. I sublimated on the cotton tea towels so that I could stitch on there, because at the time I didn't want to use the stick and stitch. Why, I don't know, but I didn't.
Probably because we just have sublimation stuff sitting out here, and we
were in the middle of the sublimation course.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't have any stick and stitch, so I did sublimate on the 100% cotton tea towels, used it as a guide for my embroidery, embroidered, then put them all in the wash by themselves, because if you were to put anything else in there that has the polymer, has polyester in it, that ink is going to adhere to that. It washed right off.
Ah. I did not know that you did that.
Yep.
Well, that's cool.
So I used it as a guide for embroidery, and then after I sent it through the wash, it just kind of like, it disappeared.
Well, heck.
Yeah.
Embroidery hack.
Embroidery hack.
Were ya?
So yeah, you can do it, but it's gonna wash off completely. And it wasn't, I will say, it wasn't vivid. It was gray, like the black that when I did press it, it was a very deep black ink. It was like gray.
It pressed gray.
Yeah, it pressed gray. So,
well, that's cool. That is good to know.
I mean, if you want to try it, go right ahead. I'm just telling you, it's not gonna come out like you think. It's gonna, and it honestly kind of looked fuzzy.
Yeah.
Like my embroidery looked a lot cleaner after I washed it than the sublimation did.
Right.
Yeah. So, Donna said, I just found these great t-shirts at Uncommon Cloth. They're the best feeling shirts I've used yet. For sublimation, definitely got to drop that in our Facebook group for us.
I have seen Uncommon Cloth before, but I've never bought from them.
Where was the place that you bought your shirts?
All Day Shirts, and I think that they're like a small company.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, All Day Shirts, and then there was another small biz. Oh, I bought some blanks from Vinyl and Tool Supply.
Yeah. Okay, so Jean asked, but using the spray works. We have not had luck with a sublimation spray. Let's talk about sprays while we're at it so you don't get confused. You've heard us talk about adhesive sprays. We'll go overhead. You can't get this guy, so I'm going to take him away.
I know. Well, I thought we could mention him, that you can't get him anymore.
Yeah, Condi is just not it's the
non-existent.
The whole company is non-existent, unfortunately. I was signed up for their email list. They went out of business.
They gone.
But Albachem does have a really good adhesive spray. So this is not going to help your colors come out brighter. It's just going to ensure that your blank is adhered, or your design is adhered to your blank.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Instead of using heat tape, you would use this adhesive.
Right. So instead of this to tape our blank down, we would use this to, quote, tape our blank down.
Right.
This is not an actual polymer spray. Like I said, we have used sprays before. It always, and listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will admit that I'm wrong. The last time we used a spray was like 2 years ago. And we used like 3 or 4 different sprays, and we hated them because it always came out crunchy feeling.
Yes.
Crunchy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It came out crunchy. So we didn't like that. So if you are still wanting to sublimate on cotton, I would personally suggest, especially if it's white cotton, I would suggest getting a Sublimation HTV. So this is HTV Ront. It's Sublimation HTV. You can get it on Amazon. This is the clear one. You can see here, it's kind of foggy looking, but it goes on your white. When you press it, you can't see it. So it goes on clear, and then you can sublimate on top of this, okay? Irene, once sublimation class is purchased, is it available to access forever? Yeah, you get a lifetime access with the sublimation course, plus you get access to any and all updates that we do. One time purchase, never have to purchase anything again from us. You just have lifetime access. Let's see.
Donna, get the Albachem if you love your Condi spray. The Albachem's great. It's the same thing. It's our alternative.
Oh, no, I think she was saying that she used this one and got a yellowing effect and didn't with the Condi.
Oh, she got a yellowing effect with Albachem? Mm-hmm. Well, we don't use it a ton. But that's been our best alternative.
Yeah. I still, if I have to use it, thank God I have some of this left. I wish that we would have bought a pallet of it almost. Because you could have bought them in pallets.
I wonder if it expires. And I wonder if maybe the Albachem you used was expired potentially.
I don't know. I'm looking. We'll look later. I don't think so. Any Hoosier, these are this on a sports fabric. Yeah, I mean, I could see on a sports fabric, it would, you just have to be kind of careful. So I did bring some other stuff in here just to kind of show you. I feel like we've talked about it. This is a cute little tea towel that we will be doing a tutorial on very soon. Like this, remember when I was talking to you guys yesterday about Holly's first time sublimating? Here it is. Look how crispy and clean it is.
The first thing she
sublimated. All we did was give her the link to the sublimation course. She watched a couple videos, and look at that.
It's beautiful.
I mean, I don't even think I could have gotten those good results.
I know, that orange border on the Hudson family is so good.
Crispy.
It is.
Oh no. One of our friends just said, I started my sublimation journey and I'm so frustrated. What are you frustrated about? We're here to help. We are here to help.
We went through the frustration so that you all do not have to.
Yes, we went through, listen, I feel your pain so hard. I feel your pain so hard. Because let me just go ahead, stay on one right now, but I want to, I just want to show them the screen of everything that is laying on the table when I was going through the color profiles. Okay. So I'm going to sign into our...
While you're doing that, I'll just let you guys know that whenever I first was working here, like when I first started 2.5 years ago, I had not sublimated anything. And I'm the kind of person who does not want to listen to instructions. I like to figure things out on my own. I like to learn the hard way. And I know a lot of y'all are like this too because you're crafty. But I tried to do a sublimation tumbler. I went through like 6 tumblers until I got it right.
Yeah.
And I was so frustrated.
And I was letting you kind of make the mistakes yourself so you would learn.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, you went through 6 or 7 tumblers yourself. When we were building the sublimation course, I kid you not, when I say 30, that's no exaggeration.
Yeah.
That we messed up trying to find the right color profiles. Go ahead and go to our share screen.
Okay.
I'm not going to play this video, but and there's so much more. I mean, I look like a lobster in this. Like, what happened there? And like, you can see where I was playing around with it, trying on different materials, getting crazy results till I finally got the one that was right. I mean, it's all here in our course. You can see everything here that you're gonna get. You also get 500 plus files. I mean, honestly, it's a no-brainer.
You can't beat it, yeah.
Yeah. I came across a guy on YouTube who was sublimating on cotton shirts. He used the film and powder cured it twice before pressing. Yes, okay, DTF. Nancy, that is a good segue into talking about this.
DTF, one of our favorite things here.
This is kind of like at home
DTF. Yes.
Are we the same person?
Sometimes it freaks me out a little bit.
A little freaks me out a little bit. Someone suggested pixie spray that I wanted to try on my hats because the tape always shifts. Nancy, put that in your notes. Pixie spray.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Pixie spray. Yes. So.
I like that name.
This is Nancy was talking about seeing someone online who was sublimating on cotton, using a powder, curing it, all this stuff. This is what this is. This is the same process that we've used. You can see there is no white ink in this, meaning that's why we had to press it on this gray shirt. The oranges are not technically, you can see the gray coming through the orange, so it's giving a little bit darker look. So this is what this is, but what you would do is you would use, this is what it looks like.
Pull it down a little bit, Lauren.
What?
Yeah, there we go.
Beautiful. It says print side, DTF transfer film, okay? Most people will use this on a special DTF printer. We're not gonna get into that because we're not gonna confuse you. But what you can do, go back to one. You can take one of these film sheets. This is what it looks like. Now, there is a special process that you have to go through because I personally have never been able to get these film sheets to be pulled through my printer properly. So I have to tape them to a piece of paper, a piece like, I have to take a piece of 13 by 19 paper. These aren't specifically 13 by 19. Anyway, it's a process. You have to tape it down, run it through, but then it prints on this film, okay? Prints on the film. We have a full tutorial on this, by the way.
I'm gonna link it for you guys.
It prints on the film. We don't have the powder in here, but what happens is the ink kind of stays on top of this film and it stays wet. So then you run it through the powder or you sprinkle the powder on top until all of the wet ink is covered, and then you cook it, cure it, cook it, whatever you want, with your heat press, some type of heat source. I even did a video on it where I cured it on a griddle. You can cure it on a griddle. It worked so fast on a griddle, first of all. But you have to cure it. That powder is a plastic powder, so it's like a polymer powder. So what happens is once heat is added to that powder, it like melts out and melts together, and that then becomes your adhesive. So what happens is you then take this, place it on your cotton shirt, press it in your heat press, peel it off, go overhead, and you get these results. I have worn that sweatshirt. Worn this slap out.
It's almost time to put it back on and not take it off for the next few months.
I know. I know. But it's been worn, it's been washed. It does have, I will say it does kind of like crack a little bit in certain places, but like you're gonna get that no matter what.
Yeah.
Shirts are not made to last 50 years.
Right.
I mean, at least not anything that has this on it.
Yeah.
They're gonna start fading, they're gonna start cracking. Just like if you were to go to the thrift store right now and you find a t-shirt from, let's just say, 15 years ago.
Right.
Screen printed, print on demand, I mean, any process of putting stuff on a shirt, if you have a solid and it's not printed straight on the fabric or it's not part of the fabric, it's gonna start deteriorating. That's just facts.
Yep.
Now, I will say, sublimation, though, does not start deteriorating.
Right.
It's there, it's permanent, it feels like part of the shirt, feels like part of the fabric.
It's like ingrained.
It's like ingrained. So, do we want to do a quick, I know at one point I had said we might add a piece of laminating sheet to a piece of wood and then press it with this. If we do that, we're going to do that now and we're going to do it quick. Do we still want to do this?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Do
Okay.
you want, if you turn the printer on, I can print something and you can show them that toilet paper and like the tumbler and whatever else you want to show them.
Oh, I
the
don't.
neoprene.
We can just talk about it real quick.
Okay.
I was just pulling stuff out to show you guys that you don't have to. It doesn't have to just be shirts or whatever. You can sublimate on so many different things. I mean, as a gag gift,
There's
I did
wood,
this,
toilet paper,
glass,
neoprene,
metal. If you do the metal and stuff, just know you do have to add that laminate sheet to the top. So let's go ahead, everybody saying yes. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn on this bad boy because we will use him
Okay.
for you guys, and we'll do it on wood. So or if you want to print something that is really don't care what it is, but I will give you the dimensions.
Okay.
Let's go with, it has to be under 7 by, let's just go 6 by 3.
Okay.
6 by 3 is what the design has to be.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to walk you guys through the process of how we like to add laminating sheets to, we'll just say random types of materials to sublimate on. So I'm going to grab one of my laminating sheets. Are we overhead?
Now we are.
Beautiful. I'm going to grab one of my laminating sheets. Now, you can cut this down to size if you want to. Honestly, y'all, what I think works best, if you want to cover this whole thing, you can. You don't have to, but you can. Or if you wanted to just print a pattern that's the size of an 8.5 by 11, we can press this whole thing, and so the whole piece of wood can be a pattern.
I got you, girl.
You got me? Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Okay, so when you are doing this, keep in mind that no matter what area, this is going to adhere to anything that it is on. Meaning if I added heat to this right now, because these laminating sheets take a little less heat, although it may not be touching it specifically, the heat will radiate over here, and there's a chance that this will like adhere to my table. We don't want that. So what I like to do is I like to grab just a regular piece of paper, and I think there's one right here. Give me 2 seconds. Beautiful. This is just a regular standard 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Nothing too fancy, nothing too fancy. And I do think I am going to cut this down just a smidgen, just so it doesn't overlap my stuff real quick.
Uh-oh. Is the printer on?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Hold on just a minute. It says, no, I don't want to go back. I want to go back. There we go. We're at home now.
Okay.
Beautiful. So what I'm going to do, just going to cut this down with these terrible scissors. I cut it too short. I'm an idiot. Okay, let's try it again. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so cut this bottom half off right here. Now I didn't cut it too short. We're gonna cut this side off too. Beautiful.
We're a little zoomed in overhead. Not like awful, but yeah, that's good. Maybe up just like an inch.
Right here?
Yeah, that's
Beautiful. Okay. Oh, thanks. Yeah, my nails are very mid-century mod.
Yeah,
This
totes. They're about to match this thing we're printing.
Really?
Yeah, why is it flashing at me?
Hold on, let me see. Because it doesn't have paper, and I will add some. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. Lauren's nails are always on point. My nails, not so much. I be getting them done, but I don't like to go to the nail salon, so. Okay.
Done. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm putting this on top of my paper, and I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to hold it on there for a few seconds. You can actually adhere it with a mini easy press, the laminate sheet. So we're just going to put this on for just a few seconds.
So you can feel on the laminate sheet, there's a shiny side and like it's like almost matte, the adhesive side is. So that's how I always put the adhesive side down, obviously. And then whenever you put the sublimation sheet, you're going to put the print down towards the shiny side.
So I'm adding a little bit more heat to the bottom. And I'm taking my heat glove and I'm kind of pressing it down onto my wood. And you can see how it adheres. Like this corner needs some more still.
And you got to think, right now, you're able to go in and apply heat in different parts of it to adhere it, but we're about to press sublimation print on there, and it needs firm, even pressure at the same time all the way across. So these are issues that you run into whenever you're using a manual press like this versus a heat press that has a little bit of cushion and a little bit more pressure, maybe. So
yeah. So what I'm doing, like I said, I'm just taking my heat glove because I don't want to burn myself. And after I add heat, I like to run my heat glove over my design or over the laminate pouch to really like make sure it adheres down. So you can see how well it does. So now what I do is I will cut away this excess. Bear with me, just trust. Like that. You can now take this off the back. I know there's a lot of excess, but the reason that I do it this way is because, and I'm gonna turn that around, I like to make sure I get the perfect cut, and it's not gonna be with my Cricut. I can come in with a true control knife and I can run it across the edge of my blank, no matter what shape it is, like this. And I can really get right up next to that edge. I mean, do y'all see that? Like, you can't even see it.
Yeah, you can't even tell.
That's why I do it this way instead of trying to cut this laminate pouch to size with my Cricut.
Right.
Okay. So once again, I like to run my blade along the edge like that. We'll turn it and go this way. You may have to add some tension. Like here, it might be a little hard if you don't have that tension. So I'll just kind of pull it and just keep working my way around the edge. Just like that. Beautiful. And sometimes you can even, you see how I'm pulling it and it's just pulling itself? Sometimes you can with these laminating pouches because it has already adhered to that edge. So sometimes I can just pull it away. Sometimes it does that, no fear. That's why I'm gonna come back in with my true control knife. We're gonna create that tension there and we're just gonna start cutting like that. And then we'll just continue on this side. I mean, you can even lay it down if you wanted to and go around it this way. It's just gonna be determined depending on what you wanna do. Now this is an odd shaped blank, so it is for some reason it's being a little finicky getting these edges up here on this perfect like I did on the sides. So I'll just come in and trim sometimes with some scissors. But I really like the true control knife the best, if we're being honest. I just think it gives me such better results.
Okay, a couple of questions. What side is it to the blank This one, it doesn't matter. You can use either side.
No, it doesn't matter.
What was the temperature you used to sublimate the glass? We have a whole tutorial on that. Let me get a link for you guys and I will pop it in the chat. We have lessons or classes on pretty much all the blanks Lauren's showing you guys today. How to sublimate on glass. We have done that on the channel.
For sure. I actually did that stained glass one specifically. I did a tutorial over it. Okay. So now we have our laminating sheet on the wood, like that. Beautiful. Now I am going to grab this guy right here to lay this on. And you still have to have your butcher's paper, which that is one thing that we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about the importance of butcher's paper when it comes to sublimation. So what butcher's paper is going to do, butcher's paper is actually made to protect, but it's made to absorb moisture.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say. It is made to absorb moisture. So that is why we like to use the butcher's paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this in half because I don't feel like we need the whole sheet. We can use one side for the top, one side for the bottom. Beautiful.
All the stuff that Lauren's talked about today, we go over in even more detail in the sublimation course. So the printers, how to print, what blanks to use, like everything. Anything you can imagine is in that course.
Yes. So what we have done, you can see here, Alicia has printed off, which first of all, these colors look really good, meaning that they're probably going to be really dark when we press. Not a problem. We're not worried about the colors today. I'm just showing you the technique.
It's even more bright in... Honestly, like, I want to show you guys the original because then you can compare it to the printed version. You want my computer?
Sure.
You can just show them.
Okay.
That's what it looks like on the computer versus...
So here is the original version, and let's zoom in.
My computer's gross, sorry.
It's all good. Can they see that?
Oh, yeah.
Here is the original version. Here is the printed version.
And that's pretty standard.
That is very standard. Actually, these colors are pretty dark. So there, you can tell a lot of times when you print, this is gonna come out even more muted than this. But here is our design versus the print.
And the Epson Sure Color mirrors it for you, so that's why it was mirrored when Lauren was showing you just then.
Yes.
Which is really nice.
So now what we're gonna do is we are going to take this, we're gonna turn it upside down, we're gonna press it on our blank. Now, technically, you could get two of these out of this same design. I could fit two of these side by side, and they could go in the same design. We don't have two right now, but so we're just going to, I think I wanna do this right here that has some of almost all the colors.
Yeah.
Pink, red, blue, yellow, all of that, like that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape this down onto my blank, just so it doesn't move. Like this.
Like this.
Like this and like that, you know.
This is a Canva print. I already had Canva up, so I was like, oh, we'll just pull something in.
So now I'm gonna flip it this way. That way my design is here. I am gonna make sure that this paper has all of this, and actually I can just cut some of this away so we make sure it doesn't get on our thing. So let me just cut some of this away.
You always want your design on top.
Yes,
like
you always want design on top. Okay. Now I'm going to add some more butcher's paper on the top because there can be ghosting from your print to here, and we don't want it to get on our heat plate. So now what I'm gonna do, and I'm not gonna hold any pressure on it. Nope, I don't want you to turn off. We are pressing this. This is currently set at 385. for 60 seconds. Honestly, part of me wants to bump it up to like 390 or 395. You're gonna wanna, actually I'm going to go to 400. I'm going to 400. You can sublimate anywhere between 375 on the lower end to all the way up to 400, 415. It's just gonna depend on the blanks that you use. For example, ceramics, you have to have a very high temperature for a very long time. Like I'm talking 5 minutes. Like, wasn't it like almost 5 minutes?
It was a long time.
It was
like,
an
way
insane
longer than
amount of
anything
time.
else.
Yes,
yeah.
It was crazy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm strictly going to do this with the weight of the heat press so that you all can see how it comes out, okay, with just the pressure of the heat press. And the reason that I say this is because most of the time, if you are holding the pressure yourself for 60 seconds, you're gonna move it. You're gonna accidentally move your heat press. It's not a big deal that you move it, but what happens is it can move your print and give ghosting. So we want it to be as still as possible. This thing is pretty heavy. It doesn't have, I don't feel like the amount of pressure that I would like for it to have, but just so you guys see how it turns out and why we do use our heat press more than using this, I'm just gonna let it sit on itself. So we're doing 400 for 60 seconds. I'm turning it sideways so that I can make sure I cover the whole area, and I'm just making sure, I'm kind of feeling around. We're just gonna press start. Nope, oops. Go, I want it to go. Okay, it's going, I think. Is it going? It's going. What's it doing? Oh no.
Just go.
Yeah, we just gotta
keep
keep
it
going.
on there. I've got timer going.
Okay, good deal. I don't use this thing very often. This is why.
Can you tell?
Can you tell? Anyway, you got a timer going.
Yeah.
I'm holding the cord so it doesn't move.
So you're not gonna put any pressure then?
I'm not gonna put any pressure. I'm just gonna let the weight of the heat press do the job.
Okay.
For 60 seconds. Thought I was gonna do 400. It's okay. It's still at 380. I guess it's because it's pressing. What time we have?
22 seconds.
Left.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
15 seconds. The suspense.
The suspense is killing me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beautiful. Okay. I mean, do y'all see? I mean, it did the darn thing.
This is like the most satisfying part, is peeling off the paper. Ooh,
I'm impressed.
Ooh, that's pretty.
So there you go.
Those colors are gorgeous.
It's hot. Do as I say, not as I do, and don't touch it right after it comes out from
Use your heat gloves.
Use your heat gloves. I'm just a loser. And there you go. There you have it.
That is beautiful.
That is so cute.
That's actually cute. I'm gonna put that in the
Like,
camper.
honestly, should have had a tutorial on it.
Should we make this a tutorial?
I know.
So
yeah, it turned out really, really good. This is the pink color. This is the red. This is orange. You can see, you can tell what colors they're supposed to be. The pink isn't as pink, but you also have to think, like this wood has a yellow undertone.
Right.
Making it
Pull it
look
up a little bit.
kind of like more coral.
Yeah.
So
Pull it up a little bit towards me.
this way.
There you go. Just so they
these?
could see the whole thing. Yeah.
Is that better?
So pretty. Yeah, it looks really good.
But like laminating sheets, you can't even tell that it's on there. You can't even tell that it's on there.
Truly.
I'm pretty sure somebody asked where we got these blanks. I'm pretty sure these were the blanks that we sent out for Makeathon
last year. It's left over.
Yeah. And honestly, without adding any pressure, I'm impressed.
Yeah, me too. Because I was like, oh, you're
Yeah.
not gonna add pressure?
I'm impressed. Can you stain the wood first? I would be I'm gonna say no.
It's not gonna look
Well,
great.
but you have to think. Are we on one?
Now we are.
Okay. Well, you have to think, Stain is going to be comprised of, well, it just depends on what kind of base stain. Are you going to get an oil-based stain or a water-based stain?
And then you need to seal it.
And then you have to seal that. And then it's
Technically, if
like,
you sealed it
do
with
you want to add a
polyacrylic-
bunch of heat? Do you want to add 400? I just don't think you can.
Technically, if you sealed it with polyacrylic and let it cure, you could just sublimate right on it. Technically.
Technically you could, but then you're going to throw your colors off.
Right, like you want to firstly stain with like a light stain and then
Yeah.
go in with a dark design, like maybe just black words on like a light natural stain.
Yeah. Nakia says, can you paint the wood first and then do the laminate on top? I would assume you probably could paint use a matte chalk paint as a first layer, go back in, add your laminating sheet, and then sublimate on top of your laminating sheet.
Yeah.
Yes, you can
Definitely.
do that for sure. But I would stick with a matte chalk paint. You don't want to do a latex based paint because it's gonna it's not.
That's gonna be any gloss
Yeah.
paint is gonna have latex in it most of the time, acrylic at least. How can I find that print on Canva? I just searched
probably like
dainty.
abstract flowers.
What did I type? I'll tell you, Lindsay. Flower pattern. And it was like a few rows down.
Yeah. You can sublimate on polyacrylic. In theory, yes. Have we got it to turn out as good as a laminating sheet yet? No.
Oh yeah, we were testing that.
We were
really
testing.
hard.
We were actually testing it with Maker's Magic.
Oh yeah, that's what was the issue.
We were testing it with Maker's Magic, and then I think we also, at one point I did test it with polyacrylic, and it just didn't come out as crisp and clean as the laminate sheet did.
The laminate sheet is just top tier. It really just does a lot better.
And honestly, I've got some excess laminate here that I'm just kind of like.
What skeleton shirt are y'all talking about? Am I crazy? Oh, they're talking about the Christmas shirt. It's skeleton on it.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that is a file. That's a
Oh, this is a sublimation file, I think.
It's exclusive to Sublimation.
Is it?
I'm asking. I'm assuming actually because
don't
I've never
remember.
seen it on the Mexican Learn website.
Then yes, this is exclusive to Sublimation.
Yeah.
Which is part of if you jump in on the course, these are one of the files that you get, I'm pretty sure.
Here's the link for the course. If you guys have been watching and you have not signed up yet, the link is in the chat. The link is in the description, so you guys can sign up. And they have to use the code Sublimate.
Use code Sublimate, Sublimate. I had to spell it in my head before I said it out loud.
Sublimate.
Sublimate. Sublimate.
There is a Canva class as well. I don't think it's linked below, but it's called Digital Design for Creatives. That is our Canva course.
But I think we do a basic, I'm going to put this guy in the floor before I actually knock him off and burn myself. So give me 2 seconds, turning it off. Not even going to step on it. We do, let me find this. Don't go to the share screen just yet.
Okay.
We do talk about, yes, using Canva for sublimation in our sublimation course, but we also have a full separate course for Canva that goes into more detail, but we do talk about Canva and using Canva for sublimation in the sublimation course. Yes.
Yeah.
Nance, I use Rust-Oleum 2X flat spray paint. That would be really good for these. Just to go ahead, if you did a lot of if you wanted to do wood around Christmas ornaments and sublimate on it, and you wanted to do a lot, setting them all out using the flat spray painting a bunch of them at one time. That way you can send them through, get all that laminate on there. Where in the course do I find these files? That is a good question. So if you go to, now we'll go to share screen. If you go to your first module, Maker's Gonna Sublimate, and you go to attachments, you can find the ebook, the first 100, 410 more. So here we have 610 sublimation files. And you have your ultimate sublimation startup supply list is going to be found here in the course. We talked about that yesterday. If you didn't grab that yesterday, go back and rewatch that live. You will find it in the live chat. You can get this ultimate sublimation startup supply list for free until midnight tonight in the live chat of yesterday's video, okay? Is there a frosted glass tumbler tutorial? Not in the course, But we do have, don't we sublimate on glass?
I think we did like a beer can glass. Let me look.
So it's pretty much the same as if you were sublimating on a mug. It's so easy. It's just you get your design, tape that sucker down on your frosted glass. Now, I will say frosted glass cups do look better than see-through glass cups.
Yeah. I don't think we have a video on that. Not on the channel, unless it's hiding somewhere with a different title.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Lauren said, it's literally the same thing.
Yeah. So, if you have any more questions, right now is a great time to ask those. If I haven't, listen, if this right here hasn't convinced you just to go ahead and sign up for that course on how easy it is, head on over. Get the course.
It's just fun.
It's fun. It's
the more you know.
Like I said, it is down to 127 right now. It's gonna go back up midnight tonight. Plus you get some fun little goodies to practice with. Now, I will say what we're gonna be sending you is going to be sublimation blanks, smaller like sublimation blanks like these, so that you can practice on these and not have to go out and purchase a bunch of blanks yourself. We give you some little practice things. Plus, we do have a video in the course showing you how you can use them and what you could sublimate on them.
Right.
So, same temp, time, yes. Well, I would check because glass is different from ceramic, but it's the same process, but it's going to determine where you purchase your blanks, because some blanks have a lower temp, some blanks have a higher temp that you have to press at. So I would check where you purchase your blanks and go off the time and temp that they tell you, because they know their product. A lot of times I just guess.
There's lots of experimenting.
But I would say 385 would be a good, that's where I like to live most of the time.
Yes.
Now when I'm doing laminate sheets and things like that, I do bump it up. But I like to live around 385, 390 with most of my stuff. Oh, off-topic questions. Can you repress Super Puff to make it puff more? Actually, no. It will make it brain more and look worse.
Yes, unless you underpressed it.
Unless you underpressed it and need to add more. If you've underpressed it, press it for like 5 more seconds.
Yeah, like
check
don't get
it.
crazy.
If it still didn't do it, 5 seconds at a time.
Yeah, don't like go think you need to do 10, 15 seconds. It'll mess up. Yes.
Will the wide format printer let you use both under and rear feed paper feeds? Yes, I use for my smaller sheets of paper. I'll pull this in over here so you guys can see a little bit better. For my smaller sheets, I actually use, my Lord, I've got so much stuff on this table, guys. I'm sorry. Just gonna fill my heat press up with stuff. Let me just go ahead and see how much I can fit in it. Oh God, that was glass. Where is my glass cutting board? Oh, it's in there.
That was it.
That was it. It's right there. Okay.
It's okay.
Coo. So move this off of here. Show you guys. I use this tray. You can see I have paper in it. This is where I put my 8.5 by 11. And then I pop this guy up and out for my 13 by 19. And technically, there is even a rear feed back here. I don't ever use it. That's for paper that has to stay flat all the way through. That's like for photo papers, specific photo papers. I don't ever use that. I always use this tray for my 13 by 19, this tray down here for 8.5 by 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donna said, you told us yesterday you were going to have all the sublimation stuff out, and you sure did.
I sure darn did.
Love it.
So I hope you guys have had a great day, and I hope you can walk away and you feel like you've learned something. That is always our goal here at Makers Gonna Learn, is that you walk away either from a live or a course or whatever we offer you, and you feel like you are more informed, you are a little bit smarter than when you started, and you have a better understanding about certain craft techniques.
Yes.
Inspiration, education, and motivation, guys. That's what we're about here. So, I did not have the cut press out. Darn it, I missed it.
It's sitting right there, too.
It's sitting right there.
It's all right.
Oh, I do have the convection oven down here.
Oh, yeah, we even talked about the convection oven.
I even talked about getting the convection oven out.
Oh, Lord.
It's down here. We love it. We use it. That'll be a different video for a different day because we do need to put it on a list. We need to add a video talking about the convection ovens and our silicone sleeves.
Okay.
Add it to September content.
Yep. And also, we're going to be doing specialty materials part 2 for our next master class. So if you guys missed the last month's, make sure you go watch it. It was really good.
Heck yeah. Okay, guys, I hope you all have an amazing, amazing weekend. We will see you guys back here. Oh, by the way, we've not mentioned it before.
What?
Cricket Revival.
Cricket Revival.
We're reviving the cricket. This is for, this is for our friends who may have had their cricket and got some dust on it. Our thinking behind this is, you know, sometimes we let our Bible get dust on it too. That's why we need a revival. That's why we need a revival.
Hallelujah.
We let it get some dust on it. We're going to dust that thing off. If you haven't, we're going to take it back to the basics next week. So we will actually be live with you guys Monday through Friday next week.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. And they all said, Amen. So, hope you guys have a great weekend. We will see you back here on Monday at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Bye, guys.
Okay. Dismiss. Beautiful.